Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Will from WC Review reaching out to you on Sunday, May 4th. I hope that you are all doing well. I've been inspired. Sometimes it's hard to find content. Sometimes little things you get and do inspire you to want to make some content. And I've been inspired by one of my most and more recent acquisitions. So I figured I would go over my collection of overbuilt knives. Now, that comprises, a lot of my collection. However, when I say overbuilt, I'm talking about, 200 thousandths or better blade stock and just like bruisers, as Dave would say. So I'm just going to start, as usual, one take Willie, no editing, and really, I try to have some direction, but really no order of appearance. But in this case, there is one order of appearance, and it's the knife that started me off on loving bruisers, and it's the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. Now, this is the copper version. It's the brass or the copper, but I believe it's the copper version. I had two of these. I had given one to Dave, to Satu Dave, who's Barefoot Bruisers now. But this is the knife that got me into big, thick, overbuilt bruisers. This thing, I don't carry it very often these days, only because I have so many other knives that are of higher quality than this. However, I think I got this knife for $59.99 from Smoky Mountain. Excuse me, I got to move. $59.99 from Smoky Mountain, and then they got smart and realized that this was not a $60 knife. But D2 steel, just you'd have to really beat the snots out of this knife to take it down. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time, but just a really, really well-made bruiser of a knife. Even $150 is a good price for this knife. It's a little bit heavy, but beyond that, it's definitely an overbuilt bruiser. Another honorable mention, the Sniper Blade Works DMF. Definitely a great quality overbuilt knife. Again, the thickness, the overbuiltness, the cleaver style blade, I like it. I don't love it. I don't carry this knife, but I just love having it in my collection, and I've tried to trade it, as I said, and it kept coming back, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, so moving on. Then I would say the next set of knives that I really, really got into was the Hobach Husky. And this knife, again, when you see it, look at that. Another knife that, you would have to really give it an ass whipping to take it down. I've used this knife, I've carried this knife, and it looks like the day I got it. Just a great, great tool. And again, when I like and love a knife, I tend to try to get same knife, different versions or colors, etc. So you've seen it before. I have the gray. I have the gray, right? And then at the time, when I was getting these, this was my be-all, end-all knife. So this was the top dog. There was no better knife in my collection at the time. So I had commissioned Jake and asked him to make me a custom, and boy, did he, in my opinion. Some people have frowned on this. This is one of my favorite knives. And again, I built a little bit of a relationship. You tend to do that with these manufacturers. When you do a custom knife with these guys, you get to know them because you talk to them, and they actually let you in on part of the design. Not all of them, not everyone. Some people take your money and say, I'll talk to you in 12 months. Not my style of a custom knife. This knife, I was in touch with Jake. Once he said he got started on it, we probably talked once a week, and it was a back and forth. It wasn't me saying, I want this, I want that. It was just me making suggestions, subtle suggestions, and him coming out with everything I could have ever wanted. This is still among my favorite knives. It is a bruiser. It's so well made. I really, really love the knife. It's actually inscribed to me on the inside from Jake. Love the knife. Then, of course, who could forget my Halfbreed Blades, large bush folders. Talk about overbuilt. tanks of knives. I absolutely love these knives to this day. And I'll go on record saying I still like the older ones over the Gen 2. I have a Gen 2. I'll show it to you. It's a great knife. It's a little bit lighter, but I love the workmanship, and I wish they had these. This is S35 blade steel. I wish they had the original in 3V blade steel. That would just be the ultimate knife. But I have all three. I forgot. I think the other one's in my bedroom, so forgive me. I have the gold one as well. But, I mean, just look at these. Just amazing knives. I really, really, really love them. Halfbreed Blades, large bush folder. Here is the Gen 2. I mean, look at that thing. It's got the frag pattern on it. It's got a new lock called the Link Lock, L-I-N-Q. And that was shitty. And it allows you to deploy the knife that way. This is all in 3V steel. And obviously to close the knife that way. But I prefer flicking it like that. The choil on it, everything about it is just awesome. Love this knife. And thanks again to Jonathan from Halfbreed for sending me this knife. I love it. I will never, ever stop talking about these knives. Overbuilt badness. Halfbreed Blades, large bush folders. Absolutely. Then when you're talking about overbuilt, you can't have overbuilt blades without mentioning a Medford. This is the Fighter Flipper. I got this one from Dave. This is a Faced and Flamed Fighter Flipper in S35 VN. Love this knife. I do carry this knife. It's definitely a big part of my collection. And I have this one. This is probably my favorite Fighter Flipper. I got this one from Mike West. It's a Magna Cut Fighter Flipper. All tie with bronze and flamed hardware. Magna Cut blade. I haven't carried this that much, but I definitely love the knife. Moving along. Let's see. All right, I spoke about that already. I mean, again, while we're on Medfords, the TFF1. Overbuilt is an understatement for this knife. Definitely one of their flagship knives, and I'll go on record again, probably one of the best in-hand knives of them all. This and Strider, I would say, are the best in hand, but I don't think Strider falls under overbuilt in the way that I'm talking about overbuilt. Striders are not a big tank of a knife, but again, I was talking about in hand, and in hand Striders and this particular Medford model are among my favorites as far as how they feel in hand. And again, that was the TFF1. How could you mention that if you happen to have one? How could you not mention the TFF1 Fat Daddy? Beautiful, beautiful tank of a knife. .26 blade steel. This happens to be in the older Medford D2. But the simplicity of this knife is one of the things I like best. I'm not such a huge fan of the sculpting for the sole reason is that it takes away from the thickness, the fatness of the knife. That's the only reason. I think it looks amazing, but when I got my first Fat Daddy that was sculpted, I was definitely disappointed to see when you looked at it like this. Hey, there's Lorenz. How you doing, Bubby? I was definitely disappointed to see how it took away from the fatness of the blade. So that's the only thing I didn't like. As far as the way it looked, definitely beautiful knives. Then, of course, the Ptorian. This is the Ptorian T. Definitely an overbuilt beast, but not a very uncommon knife. The Ptorian T. Now, the Ptorian Tai, especially these days, is a little bit uncommon, and this is probably my most it's tied for first among my most overbuilt knives. The Ptorian Tai is definitely up there, and again, the whole reason for this, there's really not much more to say. You guys have all seen this knife. But the reason for this whole video is this. The Rogavets T4. This is probably the most overbuilt knife that I have. I would not... I'd be hard-pressed to put it above the Medford Tai. But as far as overbuilt, I mean... It's definitely like almost 300 thousandths of blade thickness. It's S45 VN. It's everything the Tai is, but I don't know. I still like the Tai better, but this knife is just super bad. It's the Titan T4 by Sergey Rogovets. We're at 10 minutes right now. I just wanted to go over my my most overbuilt knives in my collection. I'll pick another one next week, but I just wanted to stay with you guys and try to make some content each week. I hope you like my stuff. I am considering, hold on, while we're here, where is it? I'm considering selling this knife. If anyone is interested in a Medford fighter flipper, not in this S35 VN fighter flipper, I would consider selling it. So hit me up, let me know, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.